God, that's gross. That's gross. That's disgusting.
For years, I've wanted to build a mineral oil gaming PC. They look incredibly cool because essentially it is a whole PC that's just dumped in a fish tank. But mineral oil has unique properties, and that even though it's a liquid, it's not electrically conductive. So today, I'm going to be making my wildest dreams come true. I'm going to be throwing a large number of expensive electronics in a fish tank and hope they work.
Why?
With the backing of science, I mean, what could go wrong?
Everything.
All right, so my next step is to actually get some supplies. I already have my consoles, but I need to find a big fish tank. I also need to find some accessories. I'm probably gonna wanna get like some gravel or something because there's gonna be a lot of cables I wanna hide. This is gonna be aesthetic. Can I get RGB gravel? So $594.60 at PetSmart later, we have, I think, almost everything. We probably overbought a little bit, but here's the thing. Once that mineral oil goes in, it is not coming out. So I wanna make sure we have plenty of stuff on standby. Otherwise, it's gonna look like a PlayStation, an Xbox, and a Switch floating in a fish tank. That would be ridiculous. And so, my friends, with a 40-gallon fish tank and hundreds of dollars of pet supplies, I think I'm about ready to get started. So the PS5 is a little tall, something like this, maybe? One of the things is we do also have some probes, which I love probes. They're so fun, but it turns out the fish people love to see the temperature of the fish, or I don't know, whatever they use them for.
Fish people? Like the
People who like fish.
You know, the fish people.
beta men?
Who are probing the fish?
For the Switch, I can just stick it directly in. I might have to like drill a hole and like stuff it all the way in on like the Xbox. This is not gonna be super scientific because if I was using a PC, I could get the exact temperatures of like the CPU and the GPU, but this should give me a pretty good sense for what kind of temperatures, the heat sinks at least, of these consoles are running at.
I'm gonna tell Phil Spencer you're sticking things into Xboxes.
We also have 75 pounds of aquarium gravel. I did order mineral oil. I have 10 gallons. But now that I see how much volume we really have, even though this is a 40-gallon tank, I think we're gonna need more mineral oil. I think we're actually not gonna have enough today to do this. Look, here's the thing. Progress in humanity only happens when you're willing to be a trailblazer, when you're willing to break the rules, when you're willing to dump your PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch into a fish tank and hope for the best. How do you think people figured out how to eat salt? Before we submerge our consoles, we need to make some creative modifications. Now, technically, we don't need to do this, but I want to actually get an idea for what the cooling is going to be inside and before we put each of these into the mineral oil. Safety is important, kids. Always use protection. So modifying the PS5 isn't too crazy. Once you take off the side panels, all I really need to do is remove a couple of the pieces of plastic that hold the vents together, and that way we're able to insert the probe, but the Xbox is a little bit more involved. Not only do I have to cut a hole in the outer plastic, but I also need to take the entire Xbox apart to remove the middle shell. So this is really the structure of the Xbox, and this is where I need to cut an additional hole so we can put the probe all the way in. We're about time. I'm gonna put this thing back together, and I think it's about time to start pouring gallons and gallons and gallons of mineral oil all over our stuff. Behold, my friends, it is pour day. Not because I spent all my money at PetSmart. No. Pour, P-O-U-R, for the oil. We have fully placed all of the probes into our consoles. We've run our preliminary thermal testing. We also went back to PetSmart and bought ourselves an aquarium stand, mostly because we actually needed something pretty sturdy. And we've also started to run all of our cables. I'm under the assumption that no wireless signals are gonna work with any of these because they will be submerged. We have USB for both the Xbox as well as the PS5 already run up. We have HDMI and power. And then for the Switch, we have a USB-C cable running to a dock, which also has a Pro controller plugged in directly. So the only thing that we did not run is Ethernet, which I'm realizing that we probably should have thought ahead on. And we also have, if you'll look down here, a huge number of very expensive things for aquariums. Patrick's just gonna be here really excited about the hole in the Xbox Series S.
Yay!
The hole! And other than that, once that's settled, it's time to start pouring, baby.
Did we talk about what mineral oil is used for, like, outside of this?
No. We're not gonna talk about any of those things. Moment of truth. I'm nervous. I'm legitimately nervous. We've got the tank loaded full of Pokemon. We've got Labubu. While I have a lot of confidence in the cooling capabilities of the liquid, this tank is very warm because right now the Series S, the PS5, and the Switch are all running.
Pour one out for the homies.
I think we're pouring more than one.
30.
Oh yeah, sorry. I have a
start with
few gallons of mineral oil to do here. The first gallon going in. Oh, it's so thick. Oh my God, it's so much thicker than I thought. Ew.
What do you mean, ew? It's oil.
I didn't realize how thick it was gonna be.
That looks cool.
It looks cool. It's all underneath the switch right now. Little on the switch, never hurt anybody. Cool. I'll just pour a little on the Xbox just to be safe.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, that's so gross. That's so gross.
Oh, I hear it.
On Patrick.
Okay, Patrick, you're going in, buddy.
Slimed up.
Oh, let me get the Labubu. I didn't get the Labubu. Oh, I gotta get Doug Trio real quick here.
Oh no!
Oh, actually, no, yeah, we've actually got some real oil in
some
there.
saturation.
Oh, nice. This is a lot of oil. Every single one of these gallons, I think, was like, what, 15, 20 bucks?
$22, baby.
More. More. Give me more. I hear it, that fan spinning the oil. You hear it? Y'all, this is the stickiest, not the stickiest thing I've ever been in, but it's the second
Wait, what?
stickiest.
Sticky? You mean slippery?
No, sticky. And that, my friends, is the halfway point of the oil. It does seem to be working. So the Xbox, even though I've been pouring directly into it, seems to be fully functional. PS5 is definitely fully functional. As you can see, Gran Turismo 7 hasn't skipped a beat. The only thing I've noticed that's a little bit concerning is if you look at the switch, I can't quite tell what's going on with the screen. I'm not gonna pick it up to find out. I'm afraid that maybe the oil has gotten in between the LCD and the sort of glass panel that's in front of it. But other than that, I mean, it looks freaking rad. And even though the oil is very thick, you can see it looks really nice underneath the actual acrylic here. You know, this was really exciting for a minute and very scary. And now it's just like, oh, it takes a long time to dump 24 gallons of oil. Nice and slow.
Need help?
Yes. Can I have some help dumping oil? Everyone, let's oil it up! It lives! This, my friends, is our fully submerged triple console setup. It is, as of this moment, fully functional. If you listen carefully, that is the sound of the PS5 fan, because with this level of mineral oil, it is probably submerging like half the fan. We maybe could have got another $100 worth of mineral oil to fill up a little bit more, but that notwithstanding, everything is functional. So let's start with the Xbox, because we actually already had Halo up and running. We ran USB cables for everything, but we're actually getting Bluetooth even though it's a few inches of liquid. So I guess the radio frequencies are able to still punch through somewhat. I am playing Halo Infinite and it is fully functional. On top of that, the actual thermals are actually improved. So again, I'm just gonna let the game continue running here. So before the Xbox was submerged in mineral oil, using this exact same Halo run, we had a temperature of 134 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now, it is pretty much stabilized at 89 degrees. Now again, not super scientific, but this is the probe in the exact same location. Now let's try the PlayStation. PlayStation, also functional. Oh geez, okay, all right. So because the heatsink of the PS5 is not fully submerged, I think we're probably leaving a little bit on the table. That being said, it's still an improvement. So beforehand, we got 126 degrees Fahrenheit on our PS5, and now we're chilling at 101, which is a pretty decent improvement, especially because this has been now submerged for what? 30 minutes. In hindsight, maybe we should have actually opted for a PS5 Slim just because it would have actually been able to been submerged a little bit better. That being said though, for our main consoles, this is not only functional, it is actually running at lower temperatures. Does that matter for a console? Not hugely, but it works. The Switch does look a little bit worse for wear. So if you look at the screen, it has continued to get a little bubbly. It is still fully functional though. You can see if like I'm moving around with the Pro Controller. And the Pro Controller does work wired as well as wireless as well. So previously we got about 91 degrees. Right now it's chilling at 83, which is, I'm gonna guess, the just temperature of the liquid. Mario Odyssey! I mean, my controller works in the menu, but for some reason when I open up Odyssey, it doesn't, nothing happens. I really want to try to use the Switch with the display. We do have a USB-C cable. No, we don't. The USB-C cable that's underneath here is just a regular USB 3.1 cable. Oh my God, we're stupid, no! I guess maybe if I play Asphalt, it's fine. Wait, look. The bubbles are gone off the screen.
I don't think so.
It works. Yes. For some reason, Odyssey doesn't want to work, but this does. And you know what? I will also say the temperatures on the Switch are actually going up quite a lot. But yes, right now we are playing our Switch underneath the liquid inside of our fish tank. Nitro! Y'all, I think we did it. Oh my God. I don't know what we really accomplished today other than making the sickest console setup ever and actually slightly improving the performance thanks to the thermal efficiency of mineral oil. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that dingling button if you enjoy this absolute lunacy. If you excuse me, I'm going to go and explain to the accountants how much money I spent on mineral oil for very legitimate business purposes.
That's right off.
Well, arguable.